Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Arsh and I'm very privileged to be here today with a very well-versed gentleman to the name of Alan Rich. Alan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Arsh, yes.
Okay, brilliant. And just so that we know, we've got a lot of people online today, so I want to make sure that everyone can hear us. If you can, on the far right-hand side of the column, there should be a box where you can ask your questions. If in the right-hand side, if you could just put very briefly that you can hear us correctly, both Alan and I. Yeah, everyone so far saying, yeah, all okay? Yeah, brilliant. Okay. For me, just to give you a bit of background of who I am, I'm quite a large property investor based in Wolverhampton of the West Midlands, and up until the start of this year, really, I never really considered having something else as an alternative investment. And then I got to hear and know of Alan Rich, so I got in contact with him directly, and I was really amazed at what he could produce. With all due respect, there's a lot of people out there talking about Forex and teaching Forex, but then to come across someone who's got such a speciality and such a wide spectrum of knowledge on the subject, I was truly amazed at what we found, and I've been then trading for Forex ever since, and I haven't looked back. So the reason why I decided to team up with Alan is because I think that there's lots of people out there teaching it, but I would consider them to be marketeers and respect that they know a little bit about it and they think that they can make a bit of money out of it. Whereas Alan, as far as I'm concerned, has seen it all, done it all, and got a lot of t-shirts to tell about it. So I'm going to hand you over to Alan. If there are any questions, I'm going to be handling your questions. So I'm going to be putting them forward to Alan. So please feel free to ask as many questions, regardless of how small or how big it is. And we're going to try and help you every step of the way. So over to you, Alan. If you'd like to tell us who you are, where you've come from, what you've done, but more importantly, why you're the person we should be listening to.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Josh, for that introduction. I'll quickly tell you about myself. I was very lucky to uh, know somebody very big in the city who got me into an American trading company. I worked with them in London and Vegas. Did some other work in New York, and when I came back, I ended up running their trading floor in the city, and that's when I was asked to go on CNBC and talk about the markets. In the top left, you can see me on the trading floor. Bottom left, you can see me on CNBC, and in the top right, you can see me at the London Investor Show. Anyway, I went on from there. I became a client trainer for Saxo Bank, who specialise in the Forex market. And in between time, I taught day traders in New York for Legend Securities. My first love is very fast-moving stocks on the US market. I've been doing that for about 20 years, and I got into Forex by watching the S&P futures and realizing how the euro dollar was correlated with it, and so that's how I started getting into Forex. And then I got into it in a much bigger way, and all the markets are correlated in one way or another. And so this is all about Forex, so we'll carry on with it. But that's how I got into it, and that was all nearly about 20 years ago. And of course, along the way, I've done the journey that lots of people have been on. So I started learning all the standard stuff first of all, but then I was lucky to go and work in the city and learn what truly happens in the markets. Okay, so the thing that makes me different, I suppose, really was I was very lucky to work with one young man in the city, and I went to work on his floor for a short period of time, and he helped me do some amazing things. And I'd always, like to give due things to him, because he was a brilliant young trader at 28. And he made so much that he's I know where he lives now in the world. He's now retired, and good luck to him. So I put that together with other things that I learned in the markets, and I trade in a different way to other people. Now let's just quickly go through things so we know what we're talking about. The smallest amount that can be made in a Forex pair is 1 pip. So typically a trader would make $10 profit per 1 pip movement. So if we move from $1.60 to $1.61, that would be 100 pips. And if we traded, let's say, the equivalent of £10 a point or something like that, then we could make $1,000 right for that particular movement. I'm trying to keep it simple. In spread betting, a 1 pip movement would be 1 point. So typically a trader would, if it moved 100 pips and he bet £10 a point or £10 a pip, then he would make £1,000. Okay, now the thing, if you listen now seriously, the thing that's happened in trading is old ideas have changed. What we were doing 20 years ago, we're not doing now. Okay, and so traders that trade for a living like I do, we've had to adapt. Now, if you think about technology, think how technology has changed in 20 years. Think how it's changed in the last 10 years. Okay, now what happens in trading is that people are still talking and doing things that happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but in the last 10 years, things have changed in a very, very big way. All the theoretical things, lots of it doesn't work. So here's an instance, for instance. If you look at this chart here, it's called a bear flag. So I've got a support along the bottom, I've got a resistance along the top, and we've actually broken down, and lots of people would go short. Yet look what happens. Okay? It doesn't do that at all. In fact, it goes the other way. Now what happens is that people get taught all these old ideas by people that haven't got experience and don't realize they don't know they don't know. So consequently, these setups that they're trading are now reversing. And what happens is that people lose a lot of money. So for instance, people go short there, they don't understand modern ways of trading, it would reverse on them, they'd create a belief in their mind that it should go down, and consequently they'd take a loss. Now what savvy traders do is they work out exactly the new things that are happening in the markets, and they trade in a slightly different way. And these are the minority. So let's go and have a look at this setup here. So in this setup here on the euro dollar, you can see that we've broken out the highs. And lots of people would say, yes, we've broken out the highs, go long. Okay? In fact, if you go to certain trading schools that have various, how should we say, they send out calls, right, to their customers, lots and lots of them will do this breakout scenario. So they'd say on this one, we've just broken out of a resistance level, okay, we'd go long with a stop underneath the lows. Nowadays, this is completely wrong. So if you look at this position here, you can see I'm not long, I'm actually short. Now the reason you can make so much money is the majority don't understand this way of trading. So if you look at this move, okay, you see I made $5 in an hour, or just under an hour, okay? And it's understanding the new ways to trade in the market. Now, I can tell you a lot of people would buy that as it went through there, and as it fell, they would freeze. The savvy traders have worked out exactly what happens intraday, and they're able to take advantage of it. Okay, so the minority who learn to adapt are the winners. But most people with only a few years experience, as I said, they don't know, and they continue to do old-fashioned things. And this is because they feel that's what the majority do, and they feel comfortable doing it. Now, worse still, many of these people with only a few years experience end up working for brokers, giving their opinions, or they work for training establishments, giving their opinions. So you've got people with maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years experience. They think they know it all. Maybe they know the theory, but they don't know the practical.
Alan, can I just
So,
stop you there? We just had
sure.
one of our first questions in,
Yeah.
and it may be a simple answer. Someone's asked, what is long and what is short?
Okay. Long is where you buy something to profit from it going up. So if you bought something at $1.60 and you sold it at $1.61, you go long. Okay. You buy it to sell it. Going short is where you make money to the downside. So you sell something you don't have and you buy it back cheaper. Going short is like the man that comes to you and says, can you give me £10,000 for my red sports car? And when I come back in a year, I'd like that same type of red sports car in the same year, right, when I come back. Okay, so, right, you take the red sports car and you sell it for 10,000. And about a year later, that man comes back to you and says, right, can I have my red sports car back? And so you have to go out in the market, buy the same color sports car, the same mileage, but because it's a year older, it's fallen in value, so it only costs you 8,000 to buy back. You buy the sports car and you hand it back to that chap, and in that year you've made £2,000. That's what going short is. You sell something you don't own. How do you get it? Well, your broker lends it to you electronically, and when you get rid of it, electronically it goes back to your broker. Okay, so long is where you buy something to sell it at a profit, and going short is when you sell something and buy it back cheaper. So you can make money if the market rises or the market falls. In fact, when the market falls, you make money twice as quick because of the fear that's it makes stocks and currencies fall twice as fast. There's nothing like make money in fear. Okay, right. So okay, after answering that, I'll move on. Now, so what you have to remember, so I've been working in the city, you know, in and out for about 20 years. In fact, I'm going up there tomorrow and seeing a broker, and I'm doing some work for them, some consultancy work on them. Okay, now I know that there's lots of people up there, they're working there, they maybe got up to 5 years experience, and they give their opinions. In fact, some brokers will have a website where they give their take on what's happening. So they'll do various analysis on the markets. But what you're getting is you're getting their individual take. So if a particular person is writing an article, then what you're doing is you're getting in that person's take on what's happening. And if they've only got 5 years experience, it will be based more on theoretical due to their limited knowledge rather than practical ideas. Now, the reason that person is working for the broker is because he hasn't cut it as a full-time trader. So remember, even when you read an article, say, in the press or a magazine, what you're doing is you're getting the take from that individual person. You're getting that person's experience. And if that person's experience is not very big, then what you're doing is getting your take from somebody that is maybe not the best in the world. Some are, but some aren't. Okay, now let's move on to internet marketeers. What these people do is give you what you want. And what you want is generally what's been instilled in you by the majority, which is theoretical ideas that, as I say, are completely out of date. So you've got two lots of people giving you the wrong information. One is the people from that are maybe so-called coaches, and they've got maybe 6 months to 2 years, maybe up to 5 years experience, right, at a training school. And then you've got internet marketeers that just go into our business, look at what the majority want, and then offer that to you. So an awful lot of the information that comes out to people is really that it's like the 80-20 game. You know, 80% of the people are getting the wrong information. Right, now the next thing comes your own personality. Now, if you do your analysis and you are convinced that you're going to make 50 pips or 50 points based on what you see, then you will try as hard as ever to reach that goal. And sometimes you might succeed and sometimes you won't. Okay. Now, if you only try for 20 points or 20 pips, then you are far likely, you're more often, right, sorry, let me just read this so I don't get ahead of myself, right? You're more likely to make it far more often than the person looking for 50 or 100. You see, in your mind, you focus on 20 pips or 20 points, and then believe me, your mind starts changing the way that you think. You see, it's easy to achieve this, and the bonus is when you are in it and you suddenly realize that there is a bigger move available to you. Okay, so let's take 10 good trades. 2 of them might make 100 pips, 4 of them might make 50 pips, but 9 or 10 of them would make 20 pips that could possibly go on to make 50 or 100. So if we focus on just making those 20 pips or those 20 points every single day, then believe me, we'll get the feel of the momentum in the market and we'll be able to lock those 20 points on and go for the bigger wins. Now, it was quite interesting that I've always known that lots of people, if you can make 20 points a day, you can make £2,000 a week. But I've always tried to get bigger amounts. And so I challenged myself and said, look, I can make 20 points a day standing on my head. So let's prove it to myself. So I was in Facebook, in Forex Trading School's Facebook, and I was trading the Dow. Okay, I was trading the Dow. I was going for 20 points every single day. Dead easy. Okay, but you know, when I was trading those 20 points, okay, I could get the feel for the momentum, and then the bigger move came so much easier. Now, if there was no momentum there, I could feel how tough it was, and I'd just take my 20 points and I'd go. I never pushed it. So if you have a 20-point mentality, so every day, for instance, today, I was training somebody today, and while I was training him, I just went and got 20 points. So I was teaching him and trading him on another PC. I was just making 20 points. You know, there was not much happening. US market, you know, was shut, and I think it's Labor Day. And but all I was doing was making 20 points. You can be anybody. So I was actually teaching somebody at the same time I was doing that job. I was making 20 points. It's a very easy thing to do if you understand intraday action. Okay, so you could be somebody at work and you could just merely while you're working just make 20 points, or come home in the evening and just make 20 points. But you know, when you're making those 20 points, you'll know if there's more to come. You'll get the feel. You'll say to yourself, I talked to a trader on the phone the other last week, and they said, you know that run you were on the Dow? I said, yeah. He said, did you get the feel? Did you feel it at the beginning of the day? It didn't want to go down. I said, yeah. 20 minutes in, you knew it was going to go up. You just had the feel from the momentum. So when it ran 30 points, I locked 20 in and just let it run. Okay, and this is what happens when you make 20 points. So for me, today was a bit tough. So I was doing 2 things at once. So I just make 20 points, and that's it. But like I say, you get the feel for when the bigger moves are there. Okay, now if you go and have a look at this, this is what I'm talking about. Here I am on the Dow. So I was doing this in Facebook for about 10 days, and I did it on the Dow. Okay, because okay, we trade Forex, but what's wrong with trading the Dow in the afternoon? You know, if something is moving and the US market's in session, then you know what? I'll switch into the Dow. The Dow's very easy to make 20 points. So 2:30 the market starts down there on the left. You can see my entry point. In here I'm using a spread betting account, so something that anybody can use. And you can see quite quickly by 3 o'clock, right? I've got my 20 points. But you know what? I could feel the momentum there behind it, okay? And then off it went, and it made 50 points. And this is the thing. If you get trained and you learn to make 20 points every single day, on the day when there's momentum, you'll be there at the beginning and you'll feel it, and that's when you can get 50 points, 100 points, or maybe 150 points. So what I did was I wrote a new course which shows you exactly how to move 20 points every single day. Now, of course, I can't guarantee that because everybody's different. And for instance, if you've had a heavy night, having a drink the night before, and you're feeling underneath the weather, then you're going to have a bit of a hard time. So in general, most sensible people should be able to do this. Okay, so now what happens is, right, that when traders think they're on a good move and they get in denial when things don't continue and they take a loss, or they get chopped around all the time where they're trying to get a bigger move. You see lots and lots of traders, right? They think there's a bigger move, they try to get in it, and they keep getting chopped around where they're looking for that big move. The 20 pip traders have a different mentality. Initially, they're not looking for the bigger move. They don't get chopped around because all they're looking for is 20 pips. But when they're on it and they're into their 20 pips or their 20 points, they know what they're looking for, and they say, hey, listen, we've got a big move on. And that's when you can hold it and get these big runs. Right. How do people do this? Okay, now, if you're only looking for 20 points or 20 pips, then you need an understanding of intraday action. That's trading that goes on during the day. That means learning from somebody who can do it, not somebody that's talking a lot of gobbledygook, right? Who's talking about theoretical ideas, right? Somebody that actually does it. So I've been doing intraday trading for nearly 20 years, and in 2010 I won the day trading competition at the IX trading show. So if anybody, and I was written up in the US, I was one of the first European day traders many like years ago. So I think I've probably been day trading probably longer than most people in the UK. Okay, so there is a style of trading that I've put together for intraday traders, and it's called pivotal wave trading. And this is the key to making 20 pips a day and more. Now, I realize that some of you don't know me, and perhaps you'd like to know more about this. So what I've actually done is, with Arsh, I'm going to put on a 2-hour free course on September the 13th in Wolverhampton, where I'm going to show you more about this unique way of trading. Okay, it's called pivotal wave trading. And if you would like to come and see how it works, and you'd like to meet me and see if all this is for you, then sign up, because it's free. And in a minute, I'll show you where you can sign up. Okay, so this pivotal wave trading is the key to making 20 pips a day or more. Okay, I'm holding this free course on September the 13th in Wolverhampton, and like I say, it's free. So this free morning is from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and the location is Wolverhampton, West Midlands. And in a minute, we'll have Arsh's website where you can sign up. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to show you what pivotal wave trading is all about. I'm going to show you how to manage your risk, keep your risk down to 1%. In fact, I don't even have 1% risk, believe you me. An introduction into basic Forex concepts, because I know that obviously a lot of people need to know the basics, so I'm going to go through that. Then I'm going to show you 3 proven powerful trading strategies that I use, and I'm going to give you a sneak preview into advanced Forex strategies. And all of this can lead you to get an extra income gain, right, every single week and month. Now, 2 weeks later, we're going to do a course where I'm going to give you all the secrets. The normal price is $695, and today only, we're going to do it for $495. So today only, $495, and here is the website. So if you want to book the free event, you can go to Arsh's site there, which is there on the screen. If you'd like to take time in writing that down, you can either book the free event or you can book the event at the end of the month. Now, I have, at the same time on the free event and on the course, I have some very exciting software that I developed as well. You don't need the software, but I'm going to show you how it works. So people say to me, I understand it, but you know, sometimes I need a little bit of help about when to get in. This software tells you. It actually tells you exactly where to get in. And people say, sometimes I'd also like to know where I get out. This software tells you exactly where to go get out. Okay, so it gives you entries and exits. And in both the free course and the paid course, I'm going to show you this software and how it works. And I'll give you a little tip. That was one of the reasons why I won that day trading competition, because I used the basics of that particular system. So, excuse me, if we put both things together, 20 points a day and some software which helps us give us entry and exits, then we've got a very, very powerful tool in the market that can help us take profits from the market. So I hope you've written that down, Arsh's site. You can go there and you can either book the event or you can sign up for the course for $495. Okay, now here are some other websites. So you know, I was talking to you about the Dow. If you go to forextradeschool.co.uk, I own that trading school. You can go there. You can see a video there on the front page of me teaching at the school. And if you go to the Facebook link underneath, you'll see me when I was trading the Dow just recently. If you want to see a bit more about me, then you can go to Alan Rich online. Okay, now I hope you come and join me. I've got to the end there, because this is a very powerful thing. I know it doesn't sound much, but believe you me, I was trading the Dow, and if you go on Facebook and you see the trades, it was just so easy. It was just, you know, pennies from heaven. It really was. And there's, like I say, there's this special mentality. Anybody, no matter how busy they are, when I say anybody, not everybody, there's always going to be one or two people that it's not for, but the majority of people, no matter how busy you are, it should be reasonably easy to make 20 points a day. Okay? And when you're making those 20 points a day, suddenly you'll realize you're on something big. Now, I'm trading the currency pair at the moment, okay? And I'm not looking for very much. I'm only looking for about 15 points. But I know the big move that's coming. I know the big move that's coming because I'm using pivotal wave trading. So that's what I'm going to do on the free course. I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you the trading system. I'm going to talk more about 20 points a day. And I'm going to talk about pivotal wave trading. And that is the key to success in today's markets. Now, has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask?
Okay, there's been a couple of questions, Al. First of all, I'm going to throw in a bit of added advantage on the free course, because I appreciate that it's going to be quite, some people that are going to travel up for it, it's going to be quite a distance for you to come for just a couple of hours. So what I'm proposing is that, Alan, if they want to come and spend the morning with you, in the afternoon, I'll take them through some property strategies that actually make us a lot of money as well. So you actually get to spend the day with two very well versed investors. One who makes his money through Forex trading, and another one who makes his money through property. So
Well,
that's
I
that.
think that's an excellent idea. I don't. That's never been tried before. I think that's an excellent idea to put a free day together like that.
So I mean, and the beauty of it is it's free, but the only way that you'll be able to get on there is by going onto the website, which is arshilahi.com, and then go to the events tab, and then underneath there will be a tab that says free seminars. I'll be updating the website tomorrow just because I've just thought of it off the top of my head. So we'll call it Forex versus property. So either way, we'll be able to cater for someone. And the things that we'll be talking about in property, we'll be looking at lots of high cash flow strategies such as rent to rent, HMOs, LHA strategies, flipping properties. But more importantly, if you've got if you're specifically property and you want to bring a deal to the table and you don't know how to solve it, we'll have a bit of a deal clinic there. So we can do that in the afternoon. So we'll have Alan in the morning. We'll break for lunch, gives you an opportunity to speak to Alan as well. And then in the afternoon, we'll go through some property strategies. And then hopefully that way you would have got some real value out of the day, because I think it's a real shame for you to come literally just for a couple of hours. Now, going back, a couple of people have asked a couple of questions. Alan, if you don't mind.
No, of course not.
David has asked, can you explain what you got out of the 50 points? I'm assuming he meant it was in monetary terms.
Okay, well, right. When I used to run a trading floor, I used to say this. Everybody trades different amounts of money. So when I was on the trading floor, I used to say to them, okay, it doesn't matter how big you trade, just talk about it in points. Say, this morning I made 50 points, you know, on another day I made 20 points. Okay, it's down to everybody's individual risk. So if somebody traded 50 points and they wanted to bet £100 a point, then you can see that they're going to make £5,000. If somebody wants to trade £10 a point, then they're going to make £500. It's up to each individual person how big they want to, what size they want to trade. So sometimes I trade really large size, and sometimes I trade smaller size. It's just up to me as an individual and on that particular day.
Okay, and then someone's asked, why did you get out at 50 points?
Okay, because I do all different styles of trading. Okay, I swing trade. Okay, I day trade, and I trade Forex. Okay, so that was my day trading account that I was trading that. Okay, now in my swing trading account, the thing that's moving at the moment, as I said in Facebook, is biotech, and I have been in the biotech move now since last July. Okay, now we did a thing on Facebook, and I showed there was a big blue chip biotech stock, and it's moved in the last couple of years. It's moved from $20 to $109. Now I know a lot of you are property people, but you would have made more money being in that big biotech stock, okay, than you would if you bought property. So I've been in biotech, okay, like I say, since last July. So some things I hold for short periods of time, but in other accounts I hold for large periods of times. And at the moment, if you want to know what I'm holding biotech. Okay, and on the free morning, believe you me, I will do a bit on biotech for you, and I will give you the big names in biotech that are going to make really, really good money in the next 3 years. So I'll be giving those stocks to you on the free trading day.
Okay, Alan, David's asked a good question. He goes, Alan,
Yeah.
that's fine, but how does a non-experienced trader recognize an exit point?
Okay, well on the free trading day, I will show you how they do that. That's why I invented this software. How does an inexperienced trader know where an exit point is? That's why the software was developed, because it actually marks on the chart and shows you where the end of the move is. And on the free trading day, I'm going to be giving loads and loads of examples of this software. So all you need to do is watch the software, and when it comes to the end, it will just tell you on the chart that's the end of the move. So I'll be showing you that on the free day that I do.
Okay. What percentage of your bank do you recommend to trade per pip?
Okay, now there's right. If you go and read the normal things, they'll give you an equation and say you should do this, that, and the other. What you should do is you should look on the chart and decide how much risk that you want, monetary risk that you want to take on that trade. Okay, sometimes you get really good entries, and you can have a very small amount of risk, and sometimes you've got to trade smaller size because you've got a lot of risk that you've got to take on the trade. So I'll also run through that on the free day because it's not an equation, it's not a set thing, it's something that you've got to look at the chart and decide, and I'll do that on the, as I say, on the free day.
Okay, a couple of guys just asking a few questions about the software. Someone says, what's the cost of the software? And then does the software, I'm assuming the software doesn't pick up news, etc.
Okay, well, the software is no, the news. I use different news sites, and on the free day, I'll give you the news site that I use. Um, and the software, um, it is that good that I really need people to come and see it. I don't want to go. That is a really big thing. I don't want to give it all away in a webinar. I'd rather you come and see me personally.
Perfect. Okay. Brilliant. That's all the questions that we've had so far. Gentleman's asked that could we do the free morning via a webinar? I suppose, unfortunately, it'd be a bit of a shame to give it away via a webinar because what we would like to do is meet you in person, but more importantly, you get to actually meet Alan in person because Alan's experience that really you're going to need to draw on. So if you can make it on the 13th of September in Wolverhampton, believe it or not, is in the middle of near of the whole of the country, so it's very easy and accessible to get to. So if you could, it'd be fantastic to meet you there on the morning. I think that's all the questions, Alan. If there are any other questions, last minute questions, please get them in now. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up the webinar. We like to keep them short and sweet.
Okay, I'll just say something else. I'll just say something else as well. Is that also in the software has a scanner, and what a scanner does, it actually looks at the market and it tells you in real time which currency pairs you should be looking at. So I'm going to show all of this on the free morning in the middle of the month. So it not only tells you on the charts where to get in and where to get out, but it will also scan the market for you, and it will give you the best opportunities in all the pairs that your currency pairs you're looking at. So I really hope that you come and see it because there's going to be a lot of value, and it's going to be completely free. And of course, Arsh is doing the property in the afternoon, so you're getting all that wonderful free information on a free training day. I certainly think it's very worth visiting and coming and seeing us.
Okay, final question then, Alan. Rick says, will you only be teaching Forex on the course, or will you also be teaching the Dow?
No, I'm going to go on because I want to tell you what's going to happen in the markets. So I'm going to be doing Forex, but believe you me, I'm going to be moving over. I'll be doing bits on the Dow as well because it's so important. And I'm going to be, I'm actually going to have a bit in there about the biotech sector as well. We're in an incredible bull market at the moment. This is reminiscent of the 90s when I was trading the tech boom in the 90s. And so I think it's important for people to understand what's going on in the market now because the next 3 to 4 years are going to be really very, very exciting. So I'm going to cover Forex, I'll cover the Dow, and I'll cover what's happening in the US and what's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 years.
Fantastic. Okay, on that note, Alan, I suppose we better wrap up. Just to confirm, the free event is on Saturday, the 13th of September at my offices in Wolverhampton. And what we'll be covering is on the morning at 10 a.m., so not too early. Alan will be taking you through Forex trading as well as the other currencies trading. Then we'll break for lunch. And then in the afternoon, I'll be taking you through some property strategies. So you tell me exactly what you want to do. I'll be telling you about what I'm currently doing at the moment, how I'm making my money. And just to give you an idea, one of the strategies that I'm currently very aggressive in is the rent-to-rent strategy, where I acquire a property for absolutely nothing and it generates me everything. And I'll be talking you through a property where I'm only paying a landlord the best part of £300 a month, but it's generating me £1,300 a month. So if these are the techniques that you think that you want to progress forward with, there's no one better to be able to speak to. And the beauty of it is it's absolutely free. If you decide that you want to come and learn more from there on, that is completely up to you. Again, the date is Saturday the 13th of September in Wolverhampton. You have to let us know that you come in. So you have to register on my website. So you have to go to arshilahi.com/events. And under the events tab, there'll be a tab for free seminars. Register your details there. I'll be sending out an email first thing in the morning confirming all the details for the Saturday. And we look forward to seeing you there. The times, we will start at 10 o'clock in the morning. Alan will go until approximately between 12 and 1 o'clock. We'll then break an hour for lunch, and then we will then go on for 2 hours after lunch. So we'll be finishing relatively anywhere between 3 and 4 p.m. in the afternoon, which gives you plenty of time to head back home should you wish to. Or alternatively, if you want to sit around and have a chat with me and Alan in the afternoon, you're more than welcome to do so. It is going to be very much a relaxed atmosphere. We're not going to oversubscribe it to where we get 50 or 100 people. The maximum that we'll have in the room at any one point will be 20 people, because that way we get to relay the most amount of information to you without having to go over it so many times for a certain amount of people. On that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you very much for your time. I'd like to thank you, Alan himself for joining me on the webinar. I hope you found it of great use, and I hope that you've taken away some golden nuggets there. The next step really is up to you. I can't force you to come along to a free day. All I can do is put it in front of you, hopefully that you're going to come along and have a chat with us. But